All right, it's just in the middle of the workout. I thought of something with regards to shoulder mobility and shoulder rotation that a lot of people don't really talk about, and that's with regards to common exercise or common drill that people like to use to create more mobility of the shoulder joint when they don't have as much or when they want to start getting mobilized before their workout, between their sets, and so on. That would be the shoulder dislocate. I've talked about this exercise myself a lot, where you basically go all the way around the world like that with a dowel or with some kind of a stick to do the exercise and to go through a range of motion. The hack that a lot of people make with regards to it is either going wider if they don't have as much mobility, or going narrower if they have more mobility, etc., etc. This is a good exercise to do in preparation form, but one thing that it doesn't include or doesn't take into consideration is the person's individual construction of their shoulder joint. And the shoulder girdle is a very, very complex structure in itself, so it's going to take a little bit of explaining as to why knowing this is so important. The truth of the matter is, when it comes to shoulder girdle construction, in simple terms, where the collarbone meets the scapula and they come to a junction point, there could be a little bit of an overhang in terms of what impedes the upper arm from going through a full range of motion with ease. So basically, if that ball and socket joint looks like this and there's a hang that comes over like that, it could be so far over that it blocks the shoulder from freely going through a range of motion without some compensations or compensatory action to come in to happen. So with that said, if you have that severe overhang, then you might be better off not necessarily using a fixed internally rotated position, something like this, in order to do the movement. No matter how wide you go, it might cause a little bit of stress for you in the joint. For those same reasons, a lot of people who do a barbell press like this, or a bench press where they're in that same internal rotation, they might come into problems, they might feel a little bit of discomfort or pain. Now, a common thing that a lot of these people do for that reason, just because they don't have the proper clearance from a skeletal perspective, they will rotate their hands to a neutral grip and use dumbbells or a football bar to do their presses and their overhead work. And likewise, since this dislocate drill doesn't have that ability, doesn't allow you to have that ability, you've got to start getting creative. Now, a simple thing that a lot of people will do when it comes to this is they will use a band instead, and that allows to have some playroom with just how wide you go at different points throughout your range of motion, and also the ability to change your wrist and elbow position. And that's something that I really, really recommend, is using a good stretchy band to do something like that instead, and still receive all the benefits from getting a nice dynamic pec stretch and a pec minor stretch, etc., and getting the lats involved as well. But at the same time, it's mindful of your wrist position and just how much it takes for you to achieve that clearance without any sort of problems or hassles or any sort of pain or discomfort. And that's a really important point to consider when it comes to the shoulder dislocate exercise and just how you perform it, and that's it.